And Chris Cuomo is here. I guess this is where America is right now. You can't even go to a wedding and have civil conversation with people, even in Saint-Tropez.
Or it's about Larry David. And Larry David is, I guess, I don't know him, but I know people who know him well. He is one of the guys who went after Dershowitz on the Vineyard. And so I think this is as much about him as it is him being, a metaphor for the rest of us. Sometimes I think you just call out somebody who goes too far and let's just keep it on him. You know what I mean? I'll tell you what's bothering me. Larry David wants to go at Elon Musk. That's fine. My problem is when people choose to be outraged and over what? And, that's the big part of our show tonight, is I can't believe there's not outrage over what we're covering tonight, which is this latest death from fentanyl, which was a kid in a daycare center. It is emblematic of our greatest failure.
The story in the Bronx is crazy in terms of that, and they were running literally the daycare was a front for the drug thing. I know you, Bill O'Reilly's fired up about that. We want to see that. But I want to get back to this whole concept with Elon Musk, because Elon Musk has become public enemy number one on the left, which is funny because he was the champion of the left with the guy with the electric cars and everything else. He's putting rockets into space. He's made a lot of retirees and anybody who has a 401k, a lot of money with Tesla stock because of how many people own it through the S&P 500. Why is he such a boogeyman now?
Because the culture wars are very capricious, and what plays to advantage shifts very quickly and often arbitrarily. And when he was doing what they liked, he's great. And when they're doing what he doesn't like, he's the devil. And to help people, Elon Musk likes to court controversy. I don't know that it works for Twitter or X or whatever he's calling it now, but he has certainly put himself where it seems he wants to be, which is often in the crosshairs. What it will do for him, we'll see.
Yeah, I guess
you don't like my answer.
I don't know if I don't like your answer. What I just can't figure out is the level of vitriol against him, and if it's not more personal, if there's something about him now that kind of offends the liberal sensibilities because they don't feel like they control him anymore. He's now sort of broken away and cast off the chains.
Don't overthink it. When you're talking about partisans, especially when you start playing to the fringes, most of this outrage is manufactured for advantage. It's feigned outrage, and it fades into the next so quickly. There's nothing sustained about it. This is not about principle. It's not about ideas. It's not about philosophy. It's about practicality in the moment. That's all.
It feels, though, that somehow Elon Musk occupies a large space in the mind of the left, because for so long they controlled Twitter. Now he does, and they don't like that. It's almost personal now. I hear you. I hear you that there is this idea of sort of feigned outrage, and everybody plays the game. And I know, look, that's one of the things I love about your show, that you talk about the game and you expose the game. I'm wondering if Elon Musk isn't the game anymore. If it's actually that he's kind of offended people. That there's something about him that now personally gets it at people.
Well, that's the genius of the game, is that it's become personal. See, that's the genius. Once you start taking it out of the world of ideas and of solutions and of actions and make it just about feelings, boy, oh boy, is that an easier state of play. Imagine if you and I could just do our job on the basis of playing on emotions. I want to show you a picture that's going to make you happy. Now I'm going to show you a picture that's going to make you sad. That's much easier than trying to deal with the world of ideas and rationales and solutions. That is low percentage ball. And our politics has become all about what's easy. And it's easy to hate and to demonize and to target. It's just that Elon Musk is helping him out because he likes the energy.
Yeah, well, he feeds into it. He enjoys it, clearly. I was going to say, you had a happy picture, sad picture. I'll give you one more picture, which is angry. And look, the story, the fentanyl story you're going to cover is going to make a lot of people angry, and rightfully so. We'll see you. Chris, I'm off Thursday, Friday. I'm going to see you on Monday. I'll miss our conversations. Thanks for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to subscribe. Click the red button to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.